How's it, y'all? Popping this D. What's reaction to this video about hip hop madness. This is top 10 most hated rappers in hip hop. Shout out to my Patreon for requesting this video. Make sure y'all sign up for my Patreon if you want more control over the videos I watch. So yeah, we're gonna see what, most hated rappers they have on this list. I feel like Iggy will be on here for sure. She's gotten such a hard time in rap, like terribly. People just crucified her like shit, and it's unfortunate because she has a couple songs that I actually fuck with. They were on like this mixtape that I listened to like a couple years ago. I think it was called like Survive the Summer or something like that, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't too bad. So I was like, damn, she gets a bad reputation. She's not all bad. I mean, mostly, but not all bad. But anyway, we're gonna see what rappers they have on this list. Let's watch.
Being a popular hip-hop artist basically guarantees a significant
they better not have Travis
coming
Scott
your
on
way,
here.
regardless of what kind of artist or person you are. It simply comes with a territory of success and boundary pushing. But some artists, even when the obvious reasons for people disliking them are accounted for, seem to garner an unusually large amount of hate. In this video, we'll rank the most hated artists in hip-hop based on factors including length of time as a hated figure, intensity of hatred, notoriety, or in other words, how widespread the hate for an artist is. And number 10, we got Wale. While many popular artists thrive off of hate, rappers are humans too. The expectation to stay in touch with fans and maintain a strong brand also means being tuned in to hate from countless random people every day.
Okay, I have to make sure
Often, the artists who are more sensitive to criticism or what people have to say about them attract more of the bitter hate they're defending themselves against. A prime example of this is Wale. After he notoriously threatened Complex staff in 2013 for excluding his album The Gifted from its year-end Best Albums list, Wale's image as the heavy-spitting poet of rap was overshadowed by ridicule about his sensitivity to the opinions of the media. Over time, Wale's transparency regarding his mental and emotional health made the issue a more serious one in hip-hop culture. But years of beef with fans, his label MMG, and media personalities made many listeners tune Wale out, even after the resurgent album Shine. His public image has slowly repaired itself over time, but Wale's tumultuous few years during and after The Gifted linger in the culture's recent memory. Many people still choose to view Wale as an oversensitive rapper who doesn't deserve respect despite his talent, past accomplishments, and emergence as a mental health advocate in the music industry. And number 9, we have
That's unfortunate. More About Nothing is like one of my favorite mixtapes ever.
The corny rapper debate. The hate for the independent LA rapper boils down as disses of other artists and criticism of hip-hop growing much louder than his actual talent or work. This turned a lot of people off to Hopsin during his peak relevance, limiting the creative spitter to only his core fans and being labeled corny by the hip-hop community collectively. Years removed from his peak notoriety, Hopsin is still making plenty of music, but without the aggressive, one-sided drama that fueled his earlier work. Despite the personal growth, the first impression Hopsin left on the hip-hop community was a strongly negative one, something he has acknowledged and reflected on in a 2018 interview with District Magazine. And number 8, we have Lil Pump. Generally speaking, the younger artists in the most hated category receive the hate because they're seen as disrespectful to hip-hop culture for a bunch of
coming at J. Cole for no reason.
Unorthodox rapping, juvenile clothing, and tattoo choices, and an overemphasis on drug use in their personas and music. With his 2017 breakout hit Gucci Gang peaking at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and becoming arguably the biggest earworm of the year, we have Lil Pump at number 8 for being a leading figure of the mumble rap movement. From the colorful dreads to the repetitive and drug-heavy lyrics, Lil Pump's persona and music became easy targets for people looking to rant about what's wrong with hip-hop. To Pump's biggest critics, it doesn't matter that Pump's flow and energy consistently make for fun and catchy records. His commercial success automatically pits him against other successful rappers of the past with more skill, maturity, and much more to say in their music. While he isn't the deepest or most versatile artist, Pump has a very clear lane he doesn't mind staying in. Most of the hate towards him comes from the defensiveness critics have when he's included in serious conversations about his place in hip-hop. On lesser notes, Pump's use of the N-word despite his Latino American background annoys some black fans, much like another Latino American rapper we'll discuss later, and his ignorant teenage persona adds to what people already hate about Lil Pump's music. At number 7, we have Lil Xan. The reasons for much of hip-hop hating teen rapper Lil Xan
did he say
are not
Tupac
very
is
different
trash?
from Lil Pump, but several conditions make Xan an even larger target for the hate than his SoundCloud rap peers. Emerging with his 2018 breakout hit Betrayed, Xan's stage name, childish appearance, and druggy sound made him an easy target for hate. Along with his melodramatic relationship with singer Noah Cyrus, claiming Tupac was boring in a Revolt TV interview, and once being hospitalized for eating too many Cheetos, Xan's immaturity irritates the hip-hop community to no end. Despite honest stories about his drug addiction and never looking for beef with media or other rappers, Lil Xan's image as the coolest white boy who used to be a photographer and just randomly stumbled into rapping makes him even easier to hate than many of his other SoundCloud rap peers. At number 6, we have Vic Mensa. While Vic Mensa's music and work outside the rap game have been forward-thinking and conscious, Vic Mensa's critics consider him corny for acting holier-than-thou in his criticism of hip-hop culture, including his feud with 6ix9ine and disses of the late XXXTentacion in his 2018 BET Hip Hop Award cypher. Despite a strong case to be made for Vic's musical ability and his social justice work, many rap fans simply refuse to give weight to what he has to say. For one, despite holding himself accountable, Vic's public image took a hit after he admitted to assaulting his ex-girlfriend in his 2016 song, There's a Lot Going On. This made his ex-diss in the BET cypher an even bigger miss than it already would have been due to X's passionate supporters. Along with his seemingly random Travis Scott diss in his 2015 song, Heir to the Throne, Vic's reputation was based more on controversy than it was on his actual work. It is apparent that this doesn't bother Mensa too much, as he is heavily invested in community building work in Chicago and defiant in the face of hate from X's fans and others. But the narrative that Vic beefs with trendy rappers for clout and doesn't have much of his own musical success has followed him around for years now and fuels the hate towards him. At number 5, we have Troye Ave. Despite being in a modest number of beefs and not having mainstream fame, we have Troye Ave at number 5 due to how confidently hip-hop fans as a whole decided they disliked Troye Ave. While Troye still has core fans mainly in New York, the former XXL freshman saw his first window of opportunity for his big break quickly slammed shut by his ill-advised comments on Kanye West and Kendrick Lamar, his ridicule of the late Capital Steez's suicide, and overambitious claims about the quality and commercial value of his music that backfired. While Troye Ave definitely had a nostalgic 90s East Coast wave going for him, he single-handedly killed all of his own momentum with out-of-touch comments about other artists in hip-hop culture that were better kept to himself. The self-inflicted nature of his unpopularity, along with sale numbers of his debut album Major Without a Deal failing to live up to its own hype, made Troye Ave the easiest rapper to hate in 2015. At number 4, we have XXXTentacion. In his tragically short career, X was known for his very loud self-presentation, including dyed hair, tattoos, and dark, aggressive raps. Moments like his XXL freshman cypher verse and his No Jumper interview, where he detailed beating a gay kid bloody for looking at him the wrong way, took his persona to an intense high. X's confrontational presence placed him in plenty of beefs with other rappers, including Rob Stone, Drake, and Offset of the Migos. X's persona also inspired extreme loyalty and emotion from fans, as he was also involved in several fights with overeager fans at concerts, and issues with venue space and canceled shows led to several fan riots. Despite serious emotional depth and variety in his album 17 and Question Mark, listeners and critics found it difficult to fully validate his art due to his unashamedly violent image and his pending domestic violence case with court documents detailing a volatile 5-month relationship with Geneva Ayala. Simply put, you either really loved X or absolutely hated him. And number 3 is Azalea Banks.
Oh yeah.
Another artist whose time in the limelight has been marked by
she just said she fucked Dave Chappelle.
Taking it further, Banks is known for throwing very nasty personal insults at anyone and anything, from rappers to tech CEOs to whole airlines like Aer Lingus. A talented genre-bending artist, Banks' music made waves between 2011 and 2013 with the EP 1991 and her debut album Broke with Expensive Taste. Her music was a unique blend of sharp raps and dance music, attracting the attention of many labels, earning her an invitation to open for Nicki Minaj, which she declined due to time conflicts. But as her musical profile grew, Banks used her platform to share controversial views on social issues and other rap and pop artists. This constant and often unprovoked beefing got to a point where a headline or trending topic, including Banks' name, was guaranteed to be a story about something she said rather than her work. Among other things, she has publicly encouraged Iggy Azalea to commit suicide, calling Remy Ma a confused Nicki Minaj stan, and hurling racist and Islamophobic insults at the singer Zayn Malik. Billboard's 2018 list of feuds Banks been in contains 24 names, still leaving out a significant number of other people she's beefed with, including tech billionaire Elon Musk, in a wild series of events also involving the artist Grimes. Any valid feelings or points contained in Banks' controversial statements get lost in the bitter and disrespectful nature of how she voices her opinions, alienating many fans and tarnishing her name in the process. With hatred towards her established, her public moments of vulnerability get viciously mocked, like when she cried in an interview detailing Russell Crowe's assault on her, as well as her tearful complaints about her feature on a 2018 Wildin' Out episode. At number 2, we have Russ, arguably the most hated hip-hop artist in recent memory.
I thought he
like
was
Vic
a
Mensa,
singer.
he's hated for his ego and comments on his peers. But instead of commentary on rappers and domestic violence, much of the pure criticism that made Russ unpopular involved dissing popular producers for having formulaic sounds, and constantly praising himself for being a self-sufficient artist who also produces and engineers. Along with his broad, condescending remarks about hip-hop artists and producers, he's also used his platform to speak out against hip-hop's drug culture. Despite the best intentions, his attempts have come across as shaming drug users rather than helping them. While no one can argue Russ's talent or sales numbers, his tone-deaf criticism, arrogance, and condescension towards much of the hip-hop community has put Russ in a strange isolation where he continues to perform well amongst his base, but is otherwise mocked and excluded from bigger discussions about the culture.
Damn.
And at number 1, of course, 6ix9ine. Most of the
Yes,
artists in this video are hated for their immaturity or their egos. But some artists are hated for a combination of reasons. An example of this is who we think is the most hated rapper in recent memory, 6ix9ine. Born Daniel Hernandez, the rainbow-haired New York rapper achieved viral fame with the single Gummo in late 2017. Along with his scream raps, face tats, and trademark hair, 6ix9ine made trolling other rappers a big part of his brand before his late 2018 arrest and RICO charges. While the shock value is on par with fellow SoundCloud rapper XXXTentacion, he doesn't have nearly the devoted fan base to offset the hate that he gets. Not content with the simple tweets or IG Live disses, 6ix9ine often took to the streets to escalate his beef, including a back and forth with Trippie Redd after Trippie denounced his past collaboration with 6ix9ine due to learning details about his child sex charge. The beef saw both rappers get jumped within months of each other by affiliates of each artist. 6ix9ine also antagonized several Chicago drill rappers, including Chief Keef and Lil Reese, going as far as pulling up to the south side of Chicago to give food and cash to local residents, as well as linking up in New York with Slim Danger, the mother of one of Chief Keef's kids. Not to mention pulling up on O Block at like 3 or 4 in the morning, taking a picture and pretending that he did it the night before. On top of all that, 6ix9ine pleaded guilty to his sexual use of a 13-year-old in a music video, and that stuck with him for nearly as long as he's been famous, making him even more unlikable to the masses. As he goes through his trial with 11 other 9 Trey affiliates for racketeering and conspiracy to commit murder among other charges, the brief and intense success of 6ix9ine's confrontational brand has left them with a few true supporters and millions of people who can't stand him. This has been a Hip Hop Madness.
This video was made towards the end of last year, by the way. So this is before he got released from jail and whatever. That's interesting though. I really thought that Iggy Azalea would be on this list, but maybe she's just so irrelevant in rap now that they don't feel like she's one of the most hated. Cause yeah, where is she? I haven't heard anything from her in the longest. Even when I listened to that mixtape a couple years ago, it might have been like a few years now. I don't know if that was 2017 or 2018, but even then, like, people wasn't talking about that. People wasn't playing that. Like, I don't feel like that did really well at all. So yeah, she's been like MIA. So I don't know if she'll come back out or what, but yeah, I know she was getting a lot of hate. Yeah, I agree with this list for the most part. And some of these artists, like, they kind of shoot themselves in the foot because they be on some bullshit, and then it makes people not want to listen to their music. It overshadows their work. Like Azalea Banks and Russ, for example, I can't name not one song from them. Like, because every time I've heard anything about them, it's been something negative that they've said or some drama that they're in. So it's just like, I don't understand what their purpose is. It's like, you need to focus on your creativity, focus on your craft, instead of you being caught up in all this other shit that don't matter. But anyway, this is an interesting video. Y'all let me know what y'all thought. Let me know what other videos you want to react to, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!